Hi Phil, I'm
Hi.
Shelby Bruce with ADP.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. How's your day going so far?
It's good. How's yours?
Not too bad. The rain's kind of annoying, but helps you
is.
stay inside and be productive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Before we jump into anything, I do want to give you my business card so you have all
Okay.
my contact information.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and give you one of mine too.
Great. Thank you. And I have us down today for about 20 minutes. Is that still going to work for you?
Yeah, it sounds great. I'm free.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I know that you've got a very busy schedule, so I appreciate it. I noticed that you're from Rhode Island, and we're in Tennessee. So how'd you get here?
When I was really young, my parents moved down here. My dad moved down here from work, and I just, I grew up and I liked it, so I decided to stay.
It's a great place to call home, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. People
I
are
enjoy
really
it.
nice.
I'm sure the weather change is kind of nice too.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the cold. I'm used to the cold, and I've never been in anything over 100 until I moved down here. So
Summer's definitely hot.
It's
quite
hot.
an adjustment.
Yeah.
Well, hey, anyway, a few of the goals that I have for today's meeting. First of all, I kind of want to get to know a little bit about your company and your payroll system, and I want to introduce you to ADP and see if we might be able to be a good fit. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, that sounds great. Those were kind of my ideas as well. So
Perfect.
I'm really interested in hearing about you guys.
Perfect. Before we jump in, though, is there anybody else you wanted to join our meeting?
No, that's okay. I mean, we have my office manager who does the payroll, but she's busy right now, and I'm the one that's going to make the decision in the long run anyway. So, it's just me.
Great, great. So I was speaking to Effie on the phone, and she mentioned that you have about 25 employees. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And do you have any plans to grow within the next year or two?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's actually why, we're struggling with payroll in the first place, because we grew from what we used to be.
Sure. So speaking of payroll, let's dive into that. Tell me about the payroll system that you're using currently.
So everything is manual. Of course, the software, in the end, you put everything in online, but we're either using Excel or, just basically documenting each employee individually. We have Effie, who we spoke to, our office manager, spends a large amount of her time, sometimes up to 5 hours, just sitting there and collecting information on each individual employee. And she's got to remember, hey, this employee did this or did that, or what rate. So everything is totally manual right now.
Right. So from what it sounds like, you're spending a lot of extra time just on your payroll system, and you only have 25 employees. So imagine if you were to grow to say, 50 in the near future, how much time would that take you?
I know it would take forever.
So let's see if we can find a way to take that time and drop it down to maybe a half hour, an hour. How would that sound?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Great.
Yeah, for sure.
Before I dive into all of that, are there any other problems that you're having with your current system?
Maybe not with the system, but there was this one time where somebody had child support coming out of their check, and we didn't document it the proper way, and we actually got fined $3,000 for that.
Oh my gosh.
And even though we had it put in eventually in the long run,
Right.
because it wasn't there in the right spot initially, we had to pay.
Gosh,
So that's,
$3,000 is a lot of money, especially
Yeah.
for a small company who's trying to grow. I mean, what would you have rather done with that $3,000 than spend it on this fine?
Anything.
Anything,
other
of
than
course.
the $3,000.
Maybe hire some new employees, spend time getting them trained. Well, absolutely. So I definitely want to share with you where we can save you that time and save you that money. So from what it sounds like our Run ADP app would make a lot of sense for you.
Okay. I heard ADP is a little expensive. Before we had this meeting, I was talking to a couple friends, and they all knew about it and they talked about it, but they did say it was a little pricey.
Sure. So right now it sounds like your biggest concern so far is price. Is that right?
Yes.
So I definitely understand your concern there. But before we dive into price, if it's okay with you, I definitely want to show you some of the features and the benefits that we can offer you, and then we can get to the pricing a little bit. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Let's do that.
Perfect. So let me show you kind of how this app would work for you. So everything's automated, which is great. So everything's uploaded right away into our cloud-based system, and it's all automatic, including all of those compliances and all of that. So one, you're not going to deal with the fines because everything's done automatically as far as the tax codes go. And two, I'm going to show you how this will maybe take you only a few minutes as long as everything looks okay. So we're going to be able to save you that time as well. So you can see here as we pull it up, it shows up the current payroll period. And all your employees are already in there. And the nice thing about this, and this is where you're going to save a lot of time, is you only have to put this in here one time. You can go into each employee and see their deductions that they have. So in your case, that child support would already be in there, and you'll never deal with that fine or miss that.
Okay.
So everything's calculated automatically. And as long as everything looks okay with you, you're just going to go ahead and hit calculate. It pulls up the amount that you're going to be looking at for that pay period. And as long as there's no other adjustments you have to make, you can just hit approve.
Wow, that's cool.
So that
it
takes
shows
you
you what you're going to pay out as well. That's nice.
Exactly. It only takes you a few minutes. So you're going to be able to save a lot of that time, so you'll be able to be out on sales calls or spending your time where you need to, and Effie can be even picking up her kids and be able to pull out her phone and do this within a few minutes.
So that's cool, but I see that you're just doing all that on your phone right now. Like, how safe is that? How secure is that? Because obviously, I mean, everybody has a phone.
Absolutely. So I definitely understand the concern with security. The nice thing about ADP is, one, it's secure enough to where us as ADP, we can't even access your information. You're assigned a unique username and a password to where only you or anybody you hand that password out to are the only people who can access that. Okay. And another nice thing about our automated system is it's all cloud-based, so we use our own database for security, and like I said, even we can't access that. So we run a very secure system that we can't even get into. So how does that sound? Did that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, that sounds great. If you guys can't even see what's going on, then I trust that other people probably can. So that's okay.
Absolutely. So do you see how we can save you a lot of that time and a lot of that money where you can reinvest it back into growing your company?
Yeah, I definitely do. Now that you mentioned that, let's kind of talk about pricing a little bit.
Yeah.
So, what are you?
I'd love to jump into pricing with you. So, for what you said, you have about 25 employees, and even taking into consideration that maybe 5 people will growth within the next year or a few months, you're going to be in that bracket of 21 to 30 employees. And what that's going to run you right now is about $48.95 per pay period. So you said you do payroll on a bi-weekly basis, right? So per month, you're looking at about $98, and over the course of a year, that's $11.74.
Okay.
So I know that's more than you're spending right now, but what I kind of did was take into consideration the fact that you're spending that money on fines, so we can save you that money. So really, that $3,000 is almost 3 years worth of payroll for you.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we're going to be able to save you that time for Effie's time spent in payroll, so we'll be able to cut down her hours that she spends there. So let's just say that Effie makes $10 an hour, and let's just say that we're able to cut her hours, maybe 4 hours each time that she does payroll. Well, that's 8 hours a month, and that's $80 a month that you'd be able to save. So over the course of a year, we're saving you about $1,150 just in Effie's payroll.
Which
so
would
if you look
in turn
at it,
pay for itself.
Exactly.
Right?
If you look at it, although our payroll per employee is going to be a little bit higher, we're saving you that money on fines, and then we're going to save you money on Effie's time doing payroll. So in turn, we'll be able to save you money by automating your system. How does that sound?
That sounds freaking great, to be honest with you. I think I'd like to move forward with that.
Excellent. Really. Yeah. So are there any other questions that you have for me right now?
Not necessarily. If you're, we can just get, whenever you guys want to do the install, and then we'll come in and I'll get Effie and we'll involve, everybody that's going to do payroll period, and then we can kind of just go from there.
Absolutely. So looking at my calendar, how does next Wednesday sound? Because I know that you do payroll on Thursdays, so ideally I'd love to be able to get that set up for you before you do payroll. So how does next Wednesday sound for you?
Yeah, that sounds great. Then we can try it out for the new pay period.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Phil. Look forward to meeting with you again.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.